The Badgers began the second half of the Big Ten regular season on Thursday night with a meeting against Ohio State in Columbus, the only regular season matchup these two teams will have. We'll look at some of the highlights from Thursday night's game at Value City Arena. We'll check in with a couple of Badger players, specifically sophomore Markus Ilver and junior big man Stephen Crowl. All of that, plus our weekly sit-down with head coach Greg Gard, coming up on today's edition of the Badger Sports Report.
Tyler Wall, top of the circle, stocks the right elbow. He'll toss to Max Klesmit, feeds Chucky Hepburn, baseline right, the drive, the kick, left side, open three, Stephen Crowl, yes. Badgers 8 of 14 from the field to begin this game. A left wing, whips it into Crowl, lower the left, slam dunk, Stephen Crowl. Oh, a sweet feed from Kamari McGee, and then Crowl with the catch and the flush. See if the Badgers can capitalize. Wall against Key. Tyler, a little spin move. Almost lost the handle. A throw to Connor. Flips a three. Right wing. Book it. Connor is sieging his second three of this first half. 26-16 Wisconsin. 7:32 left of the break. Max across the top of the circle. Feeds Hepburn left wing. Goes into Crowl. He'll catch left of the lane. Single coverage of Para. Backing his Crowl. Pivots. Now draws a double, finds Chucky, open three, he hit it from the left side. Chucky Hepburn another three, and Chris Holtman needs another timeout. At the free throw line, backing his Wall, darts it to Gilmore, thought about it, turned it down, backing his Gilly. The key went down, nothing called, they're going to get a flop here, I think. Yeah, bucket good, Carter Gilmore. The coverage key, Crowl. Now the dig from Thornton. Hepburn, Asijan, tap past Klesmit. Three try good to the left side. The ball was popping. And Max Klesmit drills a triple. Turns down the Crowl screen. Chucky against Isaac Likely. Left lane line. Hepburn backing out to Asijan. 9 to shoot. Connor off the left wing to the rim. Layup no. Rebound. Connor, yeah. Followed his miss and got the bucket. 62-47 Wisconsin. This is Wisconsin basketball.
And Wall with a steal. Tyler with the pulpit. Down the lane, slam dunk.
Now it's Jordan Davis for three on the right side, and he sticks it.
With two, Hepburn down! Off the glass!
Chucky right of the paint, behind the back pass, Crowl for three, straight on, straight in.
Let's have a party, Badger Nation! You have yourselves a Big Ten champion!
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org. And is brought to you by the Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com. And by Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
When you've been injured, you need the hometown team on your side. Trust us to get you back in the game. Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Kids eat free at all Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee locations. Get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree. Kids 12 and under choose from favorites like a burger and fries, grilled cheese, and chicken fingers, while adults can enjoy burgers, sandwiches, salads, and more. Dine in at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee stores and get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree every day. Only at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee.
These are operating engineers. They operate top-of-the-line, innovative machines and build stuff that matters. And operating engineers are well paid. They even get paid to train. As an apprentice, you can make $56,000 a year from day one. During training, no school loans and no debt. When your training is complete, you'll have a stable career job that is high skill, high tech, and high pay. We need operating engineers right now. Your future can begin today.
Injured? You need a team you can trust. Call Gruber Law Offices today, serving the people of Wisconsin for over 30 years. Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
We like to do this every year with Coach Gard as we get to the midway point thereabouts of the Big Ten season, because the wheels are always turning with the coaching staff, and you're obviously focused on the present, but you're looking at the future. And there are 3 signees, actually a 4th with a preferred walk-on that we'll get into. One of those signees was actually in the house for the last home game that the Badgers had, talking about Nolan Winter. But you've got a class I know you guys are all excited about,
right.
And you keep tabs as best you possibly can. It's probably a good time for an update on how things are going with these guys. And let's start with Nolan Winter.
Yeah.
Another one of those Lakeville North guys.
Another one, from Lakeville. Really is having a really good senior year. Bounced back off a little injury in the summer that limited him a little bit, but has had a few 30-point nights, triple-double, or double-doubles, I guess. 30 points, 12 rebounds. He's one of those guys, 6'10", 6'11", athletic, runs the floor, shoots it well. And he's playing on a really good high school team that obviously we had Nate Reavers, Tyler Wall from Lakeville North, and really coached really well by John Oxton. So we're excited about what Nolan will bring, but he's focused on, along with his teammates, trying to get a state championship there in Minnesota right now.
Absolutely. We'll talk about another Minnesota kid here in a moment. Let's go to the other side of the lake, though, as you got into the state of Michigan, right? Tell us about a really impressive guard, John Blackwell.
Yeah, Jonathan Blackwell, son of Glenn Blackwell, who played at Illinois for the Flying Illini back in the day. But, John is 6'4", combo, can play some point guard, can play on the wing, good athlete, long, exceptional defender. I can tell just watching him this summer a lot in AAU, really understands that side of the ball. I think another guy that plays on a really, really good high school team near Detroit that's with a lot of other really good players. So excited to get him here in June, too, and get in the weight room and help him launch his college career.
I saw about another guy who's playing on a pretty good team at La Lumiere in LaPorte, Indiana. Gus Bus. Gus having a really good year, too, isn't he?
He is having a very good year. And Gus is just he's kind of a unicorn, so to speak, kind of a throwback. Yes. Not only in personality, which is fans are going to love that personality, and he's got his own NIL stuff going already with his Gus Bus merchandise. But, just a very skilled, big body, obviously will be redefined when he gets to college and gets in our weight room, and he's already working that in that way himself. But really skilled, shoots it, high IQ, like I said, a bigger body, that a frame that's going to fill out really well as we help him redefine it here in college, and just understands how to play. He's got guard abilities, guard feel for the game, much like some other bigger guys we've had, but yet has some frame to him already that I think is going to become very helpful for him down the road.
All right, as promised, we circle back to Minnesota, and that's been a great area, not a good area, a great area for the Badgers. And talking about Jack Janicki, Greg, I'm not a recruiting guru, so I'm not going to try to fake it, but I've talked to people or heard from people who are into this, and they say, a walk-on?
Right.
Because he had multiple offers, correct?
He did, and Power 5 offers, too, to go other places, but he's always wanted to be at Wisconsin. I think he's watched other Minnesotans come here and have success. His sister goes to school here, so it was just it's kind of in his family too. Mom was a really good player at Notre Dame. In terms of just understanding the big picture of, I want really good academics. I want to play at a high level basketball-wise. I know I can play at a higher level, and I'm going to challenge myself here. And we always say to guys like that, you'd rather chase it, and you always will wish you would have done it if you didn't do it. And he decided at the end of the day he wanted to turn down all the scholarship offers to come to Wisconsin. So, like I said, a 6'3", 6'4" guard that is, similar to some of the other tough-minded glue guys that we've had here, and he's been scoring a lot too. He just came back from a shoulder injury, so he's been back playing here since about the first of the year.
Hearing you describe all 4 of these guys, among the things that are common, they know how to play. There's a high basketball IQ here, so that's been a hallmark. I mean, you've had some guys have learned along the way. Obviously, that's how this works. But you have guys who are smart, not academic smart, right, but they've got a lot of basketball knowledge.
You have to. In today's game, the way the game has become positionless, part of being positionless is being very well diverse in terms of multidimensional, in terms of your skill set, understanding the game, understanding spacing, cutting, how you can impact the game in ways other than scoring, and these 4 guys definitely do that.
And it sounds like, again, great fits. We all know what's going on in college athletics with NIL, the portal, and all this, but it seems like the way you describe these guys and the way I've heard from others is that they will fit right in here to what the culture has been all about.
No doubt, and no doubt. I mean, you can have some impacts from the portal, as we've talked about a lot, but in order to sustain the sustainability in college basketball has to come through the recruiting high school kids and developing them and helping them, have them here 3, 4, maybe even 5 years if some choose to redshirt. So that's really where your core is going to come from, and then you're going to, utilize a portal as needed when it's the right fit and somebody that can really help you. That's when you go to that route. But our core still has to be about recruiting and developing the right people here.
Always a lot to look forward to the rest of this season, obviously, and on into the conference tournament and beyond. But coaches, and I know fans too, you always have your eyes on the future, and there's a lot of promise coming into this program in the years to come. We'll take a break. We have more to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Kids eat free at all Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee locations. Get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree. Kids 12 and under choose from favorites like a burger and fries, grilled cheese, and chicken fingers, while adults can enjoy burgers, sandwiches, salads, and more. Dine in at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee stores and get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree every day. Only at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee.
Well, they say that basketball is largely a guard's game, and I get where they're coming from, but our guest here might be an exception to that. And there are a lot of really good bigs in the Big Ten, and one of those really good bigs right here is Stephen Crowl. You've heard that a lot probably. Oh, it's a guard's game, It's a guard's game. You roll your eyes when you hear that. Now, it's particularly in this league, is the number of guys that you're up against night in and night out.
For sure. No, I think this league has the best big men in the country. And I think we all know that. But like you said, I kind of roll my eyes at that, just knowing against I'm going against these guys every night: Hunter Dickinson, Trace Jackson Davis, Zach Edey. So those are some of the best players in the country.
I know we've talked earlier in the season about your growth physically and as well as getting the experience out there. I mean, you feel like you are able to make plays either on the defensive end or get buckets now that maybe a couple of years ago would have been pretty tough to do.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think we all talk a lot about the physicality and how much stronger I've gotten, but I think just the comfortability out there. I'm a lot more comfortable in the offense, playing with these guys every day and every game. So I think the big thing for me is the comfortability out there, just making plays and being confident in myself.
You've mentioned guys like a Hunter Dickinson, a Zach Edey, Kofi Coburn last year. There is, a couple of those guys are dominant inside, and yet a guy like Dickinson can step out, and there are others that do that as well. And obviously they got to respect your ability to do that. There's a lot of variety, I guess what I'm getting at with a lot of the fives in this league.
Yeah, like you said, I kind of think in the new age of basketball, you kind of got to be able to shoot it. Unless you are a Zach Edey or a Kofi Coburn, where you're just bigger than everyone. But I think for us other guys, we got to be able to shoot it, spread the floor, and that opens up a lot more for our offense and even the guards. So
what is it? People will, every time Purdue plays whoever it is, you always hear the broadcaster say, "Man, how in the world? Like, what can you do with him?" And that's the dilemma that all you guys face. Ideally, you keep him as far away from the rim as possible, but it seems like he's not. He's not a face-up jump shooter, but he can still, with his hook, several feet away, be able to get something done, right?
No, he can shoot it from 10 feet. He can shoot that hook shot, and the hard thing is they surround him with shooters too, so you can't really double or dig for too long because he's turned into a great passer. So if he finds a couple guys coming at him, he's gonna find that open shooter, which makes it even harder. And that was the same thing with Kofi in Illinois last year, and we saw what they did to us. So
you guys have obviously you've had to deal with some stuff with injuries this season. A lot of teams in the Big Ten have. And it's a cliche type of question, but if you could you break through all of that and persevere, it looks like these guys are coming back. That in the end, that, maybe some guys who got some minutes who hadn't been otherwise as a whole, can it make you a little bit stronger?
Yeah, no, for sure. Guys like Markus, Ilver, Chris Hodges, just getting little minutes here and there. I think that goes back to how I was talking about the comfortability, just getting comfortable out there. All of us, the first time you go in, you're shaking a little bit, you got the butterflies. So just getting those first minutes, those first points, those first rebounds under your belt is big for those guys. And like you said, when Tyler and Max eventually did and now are back, it makes us a little deeper having those guys have that experience.
You guys are always learning every time out, practice, games, or whatever. But Steve, in your case, when did it feel like the game was starting to slow down for you, particularly in your role, because you're going to get double teams, you're a really good passer, but at this level, like, okay, I think I understand now the pace at this level?
It's a good question. Probably midway through last year, I think. Probably midway through the Big Ten season last year, I kind of started to figure out I can play at this level and can play with these guys. And then even into the summer and into this year, I think it grew a lot more than it was even last year.
There was a time in this league, and it was before you got here, that there were bad teams. And you didn't have to play very well, and you could still win by 15, 20 points. That's gone. I mean, this is like every night, and you're trying to stay, keep your stamina mentally, physically. That's got to be a heck of a challenge.
We've had 3 games in what's going to be 5 days, 6 days. So having that many games in that short a stretch it's the most I've ever played at this level, and especially in this conference, you're going to get beat up every night. You're going against these big post players like we were talking about, and even some of these bigger guards, like we saw Penn State, he's backing our guards down the whole game. So it's a battle.
That is something I think we can talk about it. I mean, I travel with you guys, but I'm sitting on the side just yammering during games. You're living this. I mean, you did the bus ride day of, playing Northwestern, hopping on a plane, late night, early morning arrival. Give us an idea of what that is like, particularly in this case, because the semester was just starting as well, by the way.
It was the first couple days of school, so we were all missing the first days of school, which I don't think a lot of us were complaining about, but we got to stay on top of it. But no, it's hard, like you said, busing the same day. That's kind of like a high school game. None of us are really used to that, kind of getting out of our routine, busing down to Northwestern on the same day. And then having a flight late that night after a loss, it makes it even harder. So then next day you got to lock back in, then play right away for 48 hours later.
Yeah, nothing like the league though, right? Like regular season play, a lot of fans, they pay attention in March. And your coach will say, you can do that, but you're missing a lot of pretty good stuff earlier in the year. I mean, this conference, like every game, it seems like, is a happening, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a battle every night. And as we saw last year, we were in a lot of close games. The same thing this year. We're not quite pulling them out as we would want to this year, like we were last year, but I'm sure we're going to figure it out. I know we're going to figure it out.
That's the best part about all of this is that the goal is to be at your best when you get into the month of March. So you guys know that the best is still ahead of you.
Yeah, no, I'd much rather lose now than later on. So I'm fine losing now if that means we're going to win in March and on. So
makes perfect sense. And that is Stephen Crowl. Stay with us. We'll take a break. More to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. We believe in financial security for Wisconsin public school employees and their families. WEA member benefits, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. WEAbenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.
WEA member benefits, dedicated to helping Wisconsin public school employees become financially secure with programs designed for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. WEAbenefits.com.
Players portion of the program this week, we visit with Markus Ilver, sophomore from Estonia, Western Reserve Academy in Ohio. And as we speak, getting in there in the guts of the games a little more, Big Ten competition. What's that been like as those responsibilities start to ramp up for you now?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Tyler got injured, but as Coach said, it happened for us, not to us, and I've been having to step on a bigger role, you can say, and I mean, as the games go on, I feel more comfortable on the floor, and I mean, it's actually like the first experience I've had in the Big Ten Conference, so it's a lot to learn from and definitely a great experience.
I know you would watch it obviously a year ago. You got in some games, but getting in the guts of games, you could watch it. That shows you so much. But once you're in there and you're banging around against the dangers of the world, what is that like? Whoa! I mean, it takes a little bit, and then you kind of get used to the speed and the physicality at this level.
Yeah, it's definitely totally different being out there versus like just seeing it from the sideline and. Like just when you play and you watch the film next day, it's better to learn if you see yourself on the film against seeing anybody else on the film. Like if you see yourself on the film, it's a lot more to learn from.
A lot of guys in my line of work, we talk about, we observe, and we say, yeah, boy, it's really important for all these guys to stay ready, get through the dog days, and going back to last year where it was a lot of scout teamwork. You might get in, you might not. Easy for us to say. How hard is that to keep yourself as ready as you can day in and day out when you know the playing time, it might not be what you want, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last year was definitely hard. And, you tell yourself you got to be patient, but it's just after a long time, it starts like, it gets you mentally. And I knew this year coming in, I wanted to work hard, and I need to get those minutes, and I want to get those minutes, and I got to prove myself on the floor to get those minutes. So this year is totally different.
How much did being a part of the European Championships over the summer, how much help, how much confidence? I know you got a little banged up, right, in it, but when you're on the floor, you put up some pretty good numbers. Was that a big confidence boost for you coming into this year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, representing your country is always a big thing, and it's a pride, to represent your country. And after not playing last year much and just playing those little, coming in the 39-minute and playing those minutes, it was a good experience and definitely a confidence boost and getting more comfortable on the floor after not playing too well.
I mentioned at the top, but for those who don't know or need to be reminded where you're from Estonia, which means your family doesn't get to see you a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
But they did in the Bahamas, and you got in those games. How cool was that to know your folks were there watching you play college basketball here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Estonia is far away, like on the other side of the world, and they get to come like once a year. And last year they came to Vegas, but I didn't get on the court. So this year in the Bahamas, when I got on the court against Dayton, I needed, like I knew I needed to show them something. Like I've improved. I just haven't been sitting here and doing nothing. Yeah, it was definitely a cool experience.
Is the next step for you right now as you continue to play and get more confidence? Is it, you talk about the physicality of this league? Is it getting spending more time with Coach Snyder in the weight room? Is that kind of the next thing that you look to do here as you continue to move forward?
Yeah, definitely. I've taken a little step from last year physically. Like I feel much stronger than last year, but there's still a lot to improve on. And yeah, all that work comes from Snyder and the weight room.
Yeah, absolutely. Markus Ilver helping the Badgers right now, sophomore, who's getting more and more playing time as this season moves along. Stay with us. We have more to come as we continue with the Badgers Sports Report.
These are operating engineers. They operate top-of-the-line innovative machines and build stuff that matters. And operating engineers are well paid. They even get paid to train. As an apprentice, you can make $56,000 a year from day one. During training, no school loans and no debt. When your training is complete, you'll have a stable career job that is high skill, high tech, and high pay. We need operating engineers right now. Your future can begin today.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org. And is brought to you by the Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com. And by Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
Busy week for the Badgers coming up. An early evening Sunday matchup at the Kohl Center coming up against Northwestern, and then a two-city road trip, a Wednesday night date against Penn State and State College, followed by a Saturday afternoon tilt with Nebraska down in Lincoln. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.
Kids eat free at all Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee locations. Get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree. Kids 12 and under choose from favorites like a burger and fries, grilled cheese, and chicken fingers, while adults can enjoy burgers, sandwiches, salads, and more. Dine in at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee stores and get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree every day. Only at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.